And when we say that we love God, I want to bring this in our life. If someone told or tells for our daughters and sons rude things, things that it's not good, do you think the same person that do this with our daughters and sons loves us? Can you think this? If someone is being rude with your son, if he really loves you, what he will do? Will be not so rude. They will give a discount. They will not so. He will try to understand because he loves you, right? The same with God. We are the God's children. So how can we act with our neighbor being rude, being selfish, being criminal can be. So those things, it's against what we really don't love God, right? Because of this, and this is an effort that we need to put day by day. So the second, who is our neighbor? And our neighbor, we learn, this is a image. I don't know if you pop up in your mind which parable is this one?
The Good Samaritan.
Yeah, the Good Samaritan. Exactly. So I want to take some part of this. And this has happened. A man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho when he was attacked by robbers. They stripped him on his clothes, beat him, and went away, leaving him half dead. We mean they do a lot of things, punish him, left him, and went out. No worries. So the first one, that was the priest, saw this man on the street. Just saw and go ahead. And the priest is someone that do all the things that needed in the religion. They do the rituals. They do everything. And in that moment that someone is falling down, he didn't do anything. How many times we do the same? We came to a Spiritist Center. We do gospel at home. We get magnetic fluid. And then what we are doing when we see something different and hurting with our relatives and people around us, we go straight ahead in our life, just focus on our problems, and we can't see the others that is in pain beside us. And the other one, that is a Levita, saw the same and didn't do anything. But the Samaritan, that was considered that it's not good, that it follow the law of God, this one helped this man. And this is the way that I will read the part that is, I think it's very important, that what moves the Samaritan to help this guy. And Jesus said, I will look for here because I didn't, uh, I can't find right now, but what Jesus said, it's, he had a compassion for this person. That was, so in that, this is what we need to do, to have a compassion for our neighbor. And this neighbor, it's everybody that is around us. It's our relatives, it's our coworkers, it's our friends, it's our enemies, it's our people that don't like you. It's everybody, right? So in this compassion, you need to forget everything and put yourself in their shoes. But sometimes we do this. We put ourselves in their shoes, but thinking as ourselves. So this is sometimes do not work. I will tell you a case that I heard that is make me process and change my mind. Because they asked, the question was, do you think the terrorists do good things, blowing their own body, killing people? No, right? This is absurd. And you put yourself in their shoes. Will you do the same?
No.
No. Why? Because we understand that it's not a good thing, that the point of view of life for us is a different one. We believe in a God that loves everybody, whatever we are. So we can't understand, but when we put ourselves in their shoes, we need to try just a little bit in a few minutes in how he's thinking. And if we do this, we will notice that this guy, since he's a child, he learned that God, it's the perfect, as we do. And they learn that if he doesn't do anything, he's against the God. So imagine how precious his guy surfer if he say, I need to help God. So he go to that place and do something like this. So when you change the mind, you can start, who needs more prayer? The one that is suffer what he did, or his, because he's have no knowledge, any opportunity to understand the other way. And sometimes they do not want, but he believes exactly like this. The other one that I have, for example, of this, is in a hospital that a doctor was saying that a child need a blood transfusion. But this child, their parents was Jehovah's Witness. So Jehovah's Witness, they can't allow to make a transfusion. So what happened? The hospital contact the justice contact the police and say, the police and said, go and make the transfusion and do the transfusion. And they did. What happened? This family left the children, the kids, in the hospital. It's unbelievable, right? How can you work? How can you think like that? So we start to think a lot of things about this family, right? As we think about terrorism, as we think everybody that do something that we not approve. But what happened? This doctor, the same happened. The hospital contact the justice action with the police, and they said, go and take your kid. And he went, the father went. And this doctor said that he didn't see a person suffering in this level as he saw this father getting his kid, his children. Do you know why? He said, my kid was in pain, he will die, but he will be with God. And now he doesn't. When I die, I will be with God. And my son will not. Imagine this, you guys, imagine you with your relatives that you are very, very sure of this. That because the transfusion, the guy will go in a hell. So in that time, we change the way. You can put in yourself in, really touch you and say, we need to have compassion. And this is what the God needs, that we have compassion. And then, about ourselves, right? So, how can we love ourselves? Alone. We can love ourselves when we know ourselves. We need to understand our strength, our weakness. Because if we act most of the time like a pendulum, right? Sometimes we feel so good. You are a good person. I am in a how can I say, in a good picture, in a good picture. But in the other time, what you're feeling, that you are the worst person in the world. And in those extreme, you can try to work on, to be in the middle, to be in a balance. And this is what we need to understand us. What is our weakness? Because if you know our weakness, you will say, no, tomorrow I will change. Tomorrow I will be a better person. If not, what happened? We stuck. We don't do anything. Just saying, oh, okay, I'm the worst person. And sometimes when you are the big one, that you are the good person, what happened? Sometimes we want to do something or get something that we can't do yet. But we are feeling that we are the best one. So in that way that we try to get a balance and understanding our point of strength and weakness, we can really love ourselves, even if we have something not good inside of us. Because everyone in this earth, because we are in a level as a trial and, how can I say, trial and expiation, right? So everybody have the same difficulty. Nobody is better than others. And we have some, right, that came in the earth as with missions. This is a different one. So, and then ask, oh, when I changed to, yeah, this one. So the other when you do this, understanding ourselves, we can help this neighbor that we are learning in some minutes ago, that everybody's around us, right? Then we have another passage that's saying about, the parable of the unmerciful servant. Because all the things that we need to, most of what happened with us, we need this compassion. It's quite linked with forgiveness, right? And this passage in the Bible, in the gospel, was like this. King who wanted to set an account with his servants, he wants to see, what do you owe me? Let's go to put this in a right way. You have to pay me. So this king talked with the man and say, okay, you give me 1,000 bags of gold. Pay me. And what the servant says? God fall down on his knees and said, I don't have money to pay, please. And this king said, sell your wife, your daughter, everything that you have to pay me. And he claimed, he begged, please help me, don't do this. And what the king did? Forgave him. This servant, exactly the same, went out and met a person that was owing him 100 pennies. What he did? He forgave. He said, pay me. Quite like this, now, at once, immediately. Pay me. He didn't use the mercy. So the servants that was around and saw all the things back and told to the king and said, he did this. So the king backed his decision and said, now you go to the jail and we'll be there. So when we see this parable, sometimes we can ask, how can I say, I wrote here, it's like and eye to eye, and no, and tooth in tooth. It's not like this, right? So this is, as I said, action and reaction. If you do something wrong, you can just collect wrong things in return. So you need to do something. And then when Peter asked to Jesus, Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister who sins against me? Up to 7 times? And then Jesus answered, I tell you, not 7 times, but 77 times. And this meaning, always. Yeah, we need to forgive always. And sometimes when we don't forgive, the better part is on us. Because when we not forgive, the heavy in our back, it's bigger. It's huge. And it's like, and we keep this inside of us. And we remind everybody that offended us. When you put this so badly in your mind and you do not forgive, this is the things that happen in the past. Revival. All the time, right? And sometimes the person that offended you have no idea that offended you. So it's awkward, right? Sometimes we spend all your life doing a bad way, thinking bad things, and the guy didn't know that offended you. It's like comparing if you receive hot and cheese. What do you do with this hot and cheese? You put in a drawer or in the refrigerator?
No.
No, we'll throw this away. Sometimes words, it's like a hot and cheese on us. But instead of we put all of this away, we put all of this in some place in our mind, in our heart. And even do this. Worst, we sometimes go to this drawer, open, and smell again. Right? We feel other thing, but that person did this years ago. And leave all the sentiment again, all the feeling that we have in that time. So, in the end, better you forgive. It's not just for the person that you are forgiving, but first for you, for yourself. And then the other, I'm just talking a lot, but have a lot of things in this chapter that is very things to do, to talk. And the other one, it's about the other time that the Pharisees want to catch Jesus again and saying, asking Jesus, tell us, what's your opinion? It is the right to pay the imperial tax to Caesar or not? And Jesus answered, so give back to Caesar what is Caesar's and to God what is God. What it means, it's not exactly that you have to give what belongs to Caesar, what belongs to Caesar. All the time Jesus used like a principle. We have to get an idea. So Kardec, he explained so clearly that I will read what it is written down in the chapter 11. He said, this principle is the consequence of the other one which we should do to other, as we would have them to do to us. It condemns every kind of moral or material damage which might be caused to another, as well as disregard of their interest. It prescribes respect for the rights of each person, as each one desires that be respected. So, the way that Jesus said, I like to realize this when I read this. Condemn every kind of moral or material. We need to do and follow the laws that we are in the world. We can be we not approve all, but we need to do other things to change this. But not say, I will not follow the law, I will be like a rebellion and no laws, nothing to follow. We need to do. So this is what Jesus said, not just for moral. And for last thing that I want to say, double. Because all of this, to love the neighbor, we have to think in charity. B. So in this question that Kardec asked to the spirits, he said, what is the true meaning of the word charity as employed by Jesus? And the answer was, benevolence for everyone, indulgence for the imperfections of others, forgiveness of injuries. So he gave us like a roadmap, right? Benevolence. When someone is around you, try to see the better thing that these persons around you have, because everyone have a good point, have something good inside. If you can, and you started to notice the bad thing in those person around you, so use the indulgence. See, no, the guy is, it's not good. The guy is doing something wrong, but make a discount. Oh, don't be so severe. The guy have a problem with his family today. You don't know. Sometimes someone appear in your job and around you wants to killing someone around, and we have no idea that he have a big reason inside his house that he can't deal with. Someone can be sick. Someone can be dismissed from the job, fired. I don't know. So be indulgent. But even this, if you can see anything good, and you see something wrong in the person and could not made a discount, what happened? All the things that people around you will say will follow you as an offense. So it's a time to forgive. And if you let this time will be more hard to forgive, right? So if you start in the beginning, seeing the good things, maybe we will not receive as an offense, because we will see that the person have a problem. It's not on you. We are so selfish that the person is doing something and you take this, the way that the person living in a bad way is against you. No, it's not against you. It can be anyone around that person. But we think like this. So this is what I brought for you. And I left this slide saying that we feel like this, Jesus holding us. So let's spread the love that Jesus gives us with all of our heart. Thank you, guys.